Crime lab examiner took the stand today in the murder trial of Marcelia Fonseca. Fonseca is accused of starting the fire in an upstairs bedroom that led to the 11-month-old nephew's death. She's charged with first-degree intentional homicide and arson. The defense is pointing the finger at the possibility of faulty wiring in the home. State crime lab examiner tests with analyzing debris from the upstairs bedroom for ignitable liquid revealed her findings to the court.
With respect to that first item, item A, the burned clothing reportedly recovered from Ricky Fonseca, was there any finding, anything recovered that would have been consistent with an ignitable liquid?
There was not.
Is it fair to say that with respect to each of the items, is that finding the same?
That's correct.
So in all of the items that you analyzed, you did not locate any ignitable liquids?
I did not.
Okay. And again, to clarify, does that mean that no ignitable liquids were present at any time?
It does not mean that ignitable liquids were not present. It just means that I did not identify any ignitable liquids in the evidence that was submitted.
Testimony continues tomorrow morning.